the Toronto Raptors committed a theft, and it's undeniable because the fact that there were 9 players at the point guard position taken ahead of 2024's 45th overall pick is starting to look ridiculous. It's clear the Toronto Raptors have one of the best passers in the NBA, as the sophomore we're talking about today ranks 7th in the NBA in assist-to-turnover ratio. More notably, the 4-year product of the University of Houston, Jamal Shead, is 2nd among all players, only trailing Nikola Jokic in assists per 36 minutes. Masai Ujiri robbed a potentially generational passer in the now 23-year-old Jamal, who's got his entire career ahead of him. The fact that Shead was passed on 44 times in the 2024 NBA draft is looking like an egregious decision from general managers across the league. Chosen ahead of him at the point guard position in 2024's draft were Stephon Castle, which is reasonable obviously, Rob Dillingham, Nikola Topic, Jared McCain, Isaiah Collier, Tyler Kolek, Juan Nunez, AJ Mitchell. Mitchell's the only other reasonable selection ahead of Shead other than Castle, and lastly, KJ Simpson. Apparently, it didn't mean anything to every other president of basketball operations other than Masai that Shead was Big 12 Player of the Year in 2024 and the Naismith Defensive Player of the Year in 2024. While Emmanuel Quickley is currently holding things down and will likely for the next few seasons, the writing's on the wall. Jamal Shead, aka Kyle Lowry 2.0, is the future of this franchise's point guard position. In addition to his passing, his overall IQ, pace control, and three-point shooting all fit the mold of an elite modern-day PG. Shead's at such a young stage in his development as an NBA player, but he's already damn good, which is scary. In 24-25, Shead shot just 32.3% from deep range, but through 18 outings in 25-26 thus far, albeit a much smaller sample size, Shead's shot 42.2% from deep range. Passing-wise, and that's where Shead's ball control, vision, and instincts make him one of the truest point guards across the league. Over his last 4 outings, Shead's posted 32 assists to just 3 turnovers, remarkable quarterbacking from Jamal. Shifting to the power forward position, and we've talked in the past about where Scottie Barnes ranks at his position in defensive rating, and he currently sits first among all power forwards for the best defensive rating this season. However, from a league-wide perspective regarding his defensive value, Barnes is making a case to be the league's best defender outside of Victor Wembanyama. I thought I'd reference this post from Raptors Shaq, aka Stevie, to prove just that. Stevie tweets, "Scottie actually guards 1 through 5, leads the league in stocks, 100th percentile in deflections per 100 possessions, 100th percentile in blocks per 100 possessions, 94th percentile in defensive rebounding percentage, and 98th percentile in rim defensive field goal attempts. He's leading a 13-5 team with the 6th best defensive rating despite having multiple weak defenders getting major minutes." I'd like to know who he's referring to in terms of those weak defenders, but additionally for Barnes, proving he belongs in the All-NBA discussion, he's the only player in the league this season to have posted 300-plus points, 120-plus rebounds, 80-plus assists, 25-plus blocks, and 20-plus steals, making him the most versatile player across the association right now. What was once an anticipated clash between 2 Eastern Conference powerhouses in the Cavaliers and Raptors turned into another trap game for Toronto. Because while the Raps were missing third option RJ Barrett, the Cavaliers were missing all of second option Darius Garland, starting center Jarrett Allen, to go along with DeAndre Hunter, Max Strus, Sam Merrill, and Craig Porter. Therefore, the Raps had to avoid the trap of underestimating the undermanned Cavs, who, like themselves, were on the second night of a back-to-back. It's a shame we didn't see these 2 teams match up at full strength, but nevertheless, the Cavs had their 2 best players, while RJ not being there sort of evened things out for the Cavs being so undermanned. The performance was highlighted by the notorious BI3 Brandon Ingram dropping a season-high 37 points and consistently using his patented up fakes to get the job done.
Your pump fake, especially recently, has been especially effective. I mean, Jamal was just in here saying that you're the type of guy that you're not using it necessarily to draw fouls, you're using it to score. Is there like an influence, somebody as you were growing up, learning the game, that you kind of picked that up from?
Kobe. I don't pump fake 4 times like he did, but you know, I know when an aggressive defender is guarding me and using his hands and just trying to be antsy, and I just kind of know when to use it.
Good news on the RJ injury front, as Barrett seems to have avoided a major injury according to Josh Lewenberg, and Darko said the results of Barrett's x-rays look promising, and the team is considering him day-to-day. Still, Barrett will miss Wednesday's outing against the Pacers, but thankfully, you have pieces like Ja'Kobe Walter to step up. Walter was a catalyst in holding Donovan Mitchell to 6 for 20 shooting from the field. Overall, the Raptors not only got a steal in Jamal Shead, but they robbed Ingram in a trade which I talked about recently in a video. Plus, they seem to have stolen another player in the 2024 draft, being Ja'Kobe Walter, who was picked 19th that year. The vibes are immaculate north of the border right now, but Masai Ujiri was certainly sacrificed. Nevertheless, it was one hell of a run from Ujiri, and his last move was putting the franchise in an excellent position for his former right-hand man Bobby Webster to take over and run with. Let me know your thoughts on the Raps down below. This was your boy D-Flow, and I'll see you next video.
Have you seen anybody that weaponizes the pump fake in the way that Brandon does?
Well, I mean, there's been a lot of good people that have done that in the league. I think the best thing about him is that he weaponizes it to try to actually just get a basket and not just try to get a foul or anything. You know, he's trying to score the ball or he's trying to create a mismatch in some type of way.
Brandon, do you remember the last time you took 30 shots in a game?
Nah, I was actually just looking at this and said, damn, I took 30 shots tonight. But I didn't feel it. It was 50%. And, you know, whatever the team needs on a nightly basis, I'm willing to do it.
You remember the last time you scored that many points in a game?
Honestly, I don't even...
I'll give you a clue about your opponent.
It was the Toronto Raptors?
Yes. 41.
Do you remember the last time you were on a team that won 12 out of 13 games?
Shit, Kinston High School? Can't.
Is there one aspect of the way the team's playing that is even a little ahead of maybe where you thought they would be? I know you're not satisfied yet, but is there one aspect that you're like, okay, they're actually a little ahead of where I thought they would be a month into the year?
I think for this early in the season, I think that we're really ahead of a schedule with the chemistry and how well they're communicating, you know, figuring out like in the middle of the game, what we need to do, how we need to adjust, being honest with each other. I think that's a little bit ahead of a schedule.
What do you attribute that to? Is that the amount of time that they spent together in the summer? Or is that going through some of the stuff that they went through together last season?
I think most important thing is the character of the people that we have. Every single person in our locker room wants to win the game, and they're extremely competitive. They're team-oriented guys, and they're accepting each other. I think that when you have acceptance, that's a big reason when you can be yourself, that you knowing that your team is accepting you for who you are. And we love all of our players. We love what they bring to the team, and they're supporting each other and cheering for each other, which is a big part why they're successful on the court.